Go.
Hey guys, welcome to the first Modern Combat vs. Dev live stream, and thank you so much for everyone for joining us today. So I think we're just going to start off by introducing who everyone here is and also what we do here. So I guess I can start off. I'm Karen, and I'm the community manager here for MC Versus.
Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm a game designer on MC Versus.
I'm Nicole. I'm a narrative game designer on MC Versus.
What's up, guys? I'm Dan, and I'm a level designer on Modern Combat Versus.
There's a lot of Modern Combat Versus
There
repetition happening.
But just in case, I'm not working on anything else.
Yeah. We're
all dedicated.
We're
all
super
working.
dedicated to Modern Combat Versus.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Lucas, game designer and also MCVS.
And I'm Baptiste. I'm the assistant producer on Guess What? MCVS.
Nice, awesome. So now that we verified we're from the MCVS team, I guess we can start off with something that I know a lot of you have been really looking forward to, and it's the addition of skins into our game. So one of the first ones that we can show, actually, is... So as a lot of you already know, if you were an MC5 player, you actually got access to a special promo. And that promo was you can get Juke after 7 days. And after, you'll also be getting the Juke skin. Now, the Juke skin hasn't been revealed yet, so this is the first time we're going to show it to you guys. And I'm actually going to go ahead. So yeah, as you can see, how you can switch skins right now is on that top left corner of my screen. You see that you can actually tap on it, and tapping on it will show you the new skin that we have for Juke. So
Tap to tap. Oh yeah.
nice.
Pretty nice, pretty nice.
Look at this Juke.
Pretty good.
This is the Juke skin. What is the name of the skin?
The name of this skin is Game Day. So we kept the football thematic. As most of you know, Juke has a touchdown slash sort of, what is it called?
It's an AoE.
Yeah, it's an AoE. It stuns people in a radius, as well as damaging them and providing him with healing.
So Juke is that character, you know, he's a team player, but he's got a bit of that sassiness and attitude. He knows he's a winner. So within the theme of that character, we went with this new skin that's super cool, called the Game Day skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hope you guys like it. So MC5 players who now play MC Versus, you should be getting this skin with the next update. And now we also have a special surprise for you guys. In the theme of October, we have a spooky themed skin for you guys, and it is a cult skin. So what we're going to do is show you guys it now, and it's actually called Nightmare Cult. And this is the first time that it's being shown live. And yeah, do you want to talk about the inspirations?
I think a lot of people find that Cult is one of the most personality-filled characters in our game. His VOs are super funny. He has some of the best lines, and we really wanted to give you something that would show off that like October themed nightmare visuals, but also keep it that it's Cult, and Cult's the dude, and he's like the guy that likes to have a good time. So, you know, he doesn't take his nightmare skin too seriously, but I think it's super cool, and Cult is one of my favorite characters, so I'm super excited to be playing with this new skin.
Yeah, and actually, like, one of the things was when we first started developing skins and making this skin in particular, at first the concept was just to have his pumpkin head, and eventually we started adding like the skeleton that you see on top his in the front of his body, and then building on that. And really, like, what we have here now is quite different from Cult's original skin, and we hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah. What we're actually going to do is we're going to get two of us to actually play a game with Juke and with Cult with the new skins, just to show you guys.
All right.
So, Ollie's the lucky one.
Ollie is our designated.
Yeah, Ollie, the professional player, as you may have seen him on the live stream we have for the
for our launch
World,
event.
yeah.
The champion.
World
in
launch.
the world launch event.
So for those of you who didn't see our live stream event that happened during our worldwide launch, Dan and Ollie were actually playing on the live stream.
With
Yeah.
a bunch
Yes.
of YouTubers
Yeah.
and, you know, some pro players. And there's a rivalry between these two guys. And, you know, we like to keep it alive, make them face off against each
It's a
other.
very minor
Minor
rivalry.
rivalry.
Yeah.
And Ollie won. We
Which-
hate to admit it because I'm like Team Dan, but
Whoa.
Sorry, Ollie.
I'm Team Ollie. I'm Team Ollie.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, don't
Okay.
ever ask me for anything again.
GD for the win.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Let's see what Holly can
Oh.
do with this.
Yeah. So you can see, like,
Look at that reload, eh?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, see
Oh,
that
nice
again.
ball kick from Holly.
So Ollie is
point right
an
now.
expert Juke player, and you
Oh,
know
yeah.
I know many of you maybe wondered the best way to play Juke and how to like get the maximum kills out of him, and this will definitely be a crash course for a lot of people because Ollie has mastered him,
oh yes.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
having designed him and you know balanced him. I think he mastered him. But Ollie, talk us through like some of your strategies when you're like dealing with Juke.
So Juke's a defender. Oh, I just tapped there, but
Oh.
Ollie just
it's
got
fine.
killed.
He likes to approach from mid range. He has an assault rifle. His weapon is great from afar and close. His hip fire isn't so great, but what he likes to do is he initiates battles. So his stun can start a whole series of events throughout, like capturing a point or defending it, and with it he heals. So it's very tankish, and he can be very difficult to face when he's close because you don't know if he's gonna stun or if he's just gonna unleash with his assault rifle. I think his damage on his assault rifle is one of the highest as well, but his fire rate isn't too high.
And
But to-
what's your strategy with the ability? So you're gonna wait for the ability, obviously, to
Yeah.
charge up, and then do you want to get a group of people,
Yeah.
a group of enemies clustered, or you want to
So-
go a one-on-one?
So the best way to use Juke is, when there's a lot of enemies together, you approach them and touch down with your ability, making them all stunned and vulnerable to attacks from your teammates. So
Yeah, ideally you want to synergize because, like Ollie was saying, it's really an initiator move to be able to stun a few people, and during that time it lets your own allies the chance to use their other ability, which could be damaging. It could be to flank the enemies. So I think it's a great ability, a great team ability. So it's all about knowing when to use it and where.
exactly.
Yeah, I think he'll be like really, really awesome when we have the clans come out because like going in with him strong. I know it takes like almost like a second or something for him to come back up after he does his touchdown. So in that second, like your teammates can actually work to like just mow down everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, just so you guys know, we listen to your feedback. Karen gives us all of the social media like up to dates, and we're always tweaking and trying to perfect the game and find that perfect balance. So you guys get the best like gameplay experience ever. So we do listen to you guys. Keep the comments coming, and we're working super hard just to give you like the best possible modern combat ever.
Yeah. And just to give you guys a heads up, we have been doing some testing with Juke. Some balance changes are coming. Just a matter of refining them and testing them some more. And this is from feedback from you guys, from data, and I'm really excited for it to come.
So now Baptiste is going to be,
He's going to be trying out the
Cults,
cult
yeah.
skin.
yeah, and I expect a lot from him because Cult is my favorite character. So I expect him to.
I have to admit, I'm not a cult player.
See?
I really do enjoy the character, but I'm not a cult player.
So
I
I expect him
try
to,
my
you
best.
know,
Voilà.
drop his traps in choke points. I expect him to sneak around, which he's not currently doing, but we'll see what
He's
he's
holding up.
doing. He's holding up.
Strategies.
Yeah, I expect him to, you know, go with other agents that have more of a heavy or maybe some defensive elements. When you're playing him, you really need to to kind of think outside of the box as far as the game is concerned, flank,
Yeah.
and just drop those traps in the most like high traffic areas that you can, and it's super rewarding when a bunch of enemies just come out of a door and that trap is there and you're just looking at them in pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I really like playing him when like the other team chooses a bunch of tanks because it's like hilarious watching the tanks slowly try to like turn to you and like get to you, but then they're dead before they know what's going on.
And Ollie could talk about this a little bit too, like his counters. Definitely a tower or a con. Like Karen just mentioned, you see the pain of the person like just rotating and trying to see where you are.
Yeah, definitely. Like Ronin, his hard counter is cult. Yeah, just because once that slows on you, it's almost impossible to follow him if he's strafing and whatnot. Him and Blaze are the strongest defender busters. Cult, for me, is the best support. He's the only specialist we have right now.
Yeah.
And he provides, with his trap, he can even fling his trap and kind of like keep hidden with his tanks.
Yeah, I find it's not your job as a cult to be constantly putting damage like a lock on the entire team. With a lock, you'll always want to be constantly firing at the team, adding that damage. But with a cult, you just gotta know at what point to really jump in and to flank the other team, and that's what puts him more of a support character than anything. Yeah. And he is super annoying if your positioning is great.
Yeah, it's all about the timing, Like we saw Betsis run into a bunch of enemies, a crowd of enemies, and somebody like a Swift, that's not going to be a great move. But we just saw him illustrate, you really have to think beyond just rushing into a battle.
Yeah, because your health is super low.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you need your teammates, and you need that synergy between the other players to really come in at the right moments and the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So as you saw there, Cult's biggest weakness are agents like Locke. You keep that distance and Cult will be able to touch you.
Yeah, like similarly, if it's a more open map, a good Monarch can really like be a bane to like Blaze and Cult. Any of these closer range agents.
There we
You
go.
can do this with these.
You can do it.
Yes,
Come on, we expect so much
See,
more
if
from
I
you.
was playing Cult, I wouldn't go this way, but Betsis is
Different strategies.
Yeah.
No
Ooh.
pressure, but
I'd be like running away right now.
Oh, he can't. It's at 94.
Oh,
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh,
Oh.
It's okay.
Sweet white chocolate.
I mean,
This is the
hey.
first time I've seen the defense screen, so
Yeah, that's
too bad it's on
true.
the live.
Yeah.
wow.
But
yeah.
I totally should have played. Just for the record.
Nicole regrets not grabbing
Yeah.
that phone from him. But yeah, so I mean, what are some other things that you guys can kind of look forward to in the update that's going to release soon? So some of you guys have mentioned some AFK bots. So that's actually going to be fixed. And stuff like there's minor changes going on too, such as when a bot Minu sprints to the zone, when it's towards the end of the game and you need someone on that zone, she will like go and sprint in. There's stuff also like online fixes, such as people who were getting stuck in matchmaking, or there's some sort of delay at the end of the game after your game actually ends before you're thrown back into like the end screen, so that those are going to be fixed. Another interesting one I think is that bots now actually take consideration of when shields are up. So let's say you're a con, you throw down your shield and you're like, oh, that Minu is just standing right outside. So now she'll actually like come back in, she'll realize that there's a shield and she'll jump in so that she doesn't take as much damage. So yeah, that's stuff to look forward to in the update that will be launching soon. These two skins that we just showcased will be in it, along with some minor bug fixes. So keep in mind that this isn't a big update. This is really much more of like an October themed update, along with some bug fixes that we've noticed and that you guys have been talking about. Yeah, I guess we can actually get to the Q&A part of it, and we'll actually switch devices. You can try queuing with us if you want. I will
So yeah, if you guys want to play live and we happen to be in the same trophy count.
switching devices. And we're switching to a phone that has the live version of the game so that we can actually play with you guys as we take questions and give answers. Let me set that up.
And we see your questions, and Karen has, she's going to ask us all your questions in whatever order Karen decides to ask them in, but we will get to your questions and answer them all. So I see a couple of them going on about the graphics and stuff like that, so we're going to get to those shortly.
Yeah. All right, so I think I have this set up. Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go
Nicole,
first?
I think you should take this
No,
one.
I think Dan should, and we could
Yeah.
actually kind of touch
Really?
on some level design
Oh,
stuff
I'm
as
honored.
we
Ooh, okay.
in
So,
between.
yeah.
So
Dan's our level designer, so all these maps that you're seeing, all these, he has a lot of secret positions on the maps that he thinks people are underutilizing. So hopefully whatever map he gets into, he'll be able to point out some of the cool hidden areas.
Yeah, little hidden areas, little flank points, sniper points, little hidden Easter eggs, all that good stuff.
I see we have a question from our creative director, from Alex, who's spying on us more or less while we do this, but we appreciate it. And Alex couldn't be here today, but next time he's joining us for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
are you searching? Cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so cool.
Alex, you have to write your question again because sorry we didn't
Yeah,
we
the
didn't see
chat's
it.
moving way too fast.
Alex, who do you want me to play?
Yeah, Alex, tell Dan who you would like him to play.
It was Ghost, right?
Gosh.
All right.
Please make a dev diary of this game, says Kurt Gautier. Yeah, maybe that's something we can definitely look into doing. We're always looking to push out new content, especially if it's something that engages the community and allows us to kind of talk to you guys directly. So perhaps, yeah. Okay, so Longmere Tehran from Facebook asks, will the game become as competitive as MC5?
So Ollie,
Yeah.
take it away.
So
You got this.
definitely, we have plans to make this game really competitive multiplayer experience. And we are working on
I'm gonna take a tank.
custom match feature where you'll be able to create matches. And so with this feature, you will host tournaments. You can play,
Play with
your friends.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something we've always wanted, and it's something we're working on.
Yeah, it's super important for us to really bring you guys the social mechanics of the game and to make it really easy for you to group up with your friends or play against other people of the same level and skill set, and those are goals that we continuously are working on, and we can't wait for, even amongst ourselves, we really want to put together a little modern combat dev clan and face off against you guys and create those extra little steps to build the community and also the social gameplay.
Yeah, so
Well, there's a monarch up there.
what Ollie and Nicole mentioned are going to be the building blocks to us making this game, taking it to a completely new level in terms of competition. Yeah, so thank you for that question. Another one is from... Oh, okay. Alex actually has a question. So Alex asks, what do you consider when you balance the agents?
Alex is just stealing all of Karen's questions.
The show.
And he should just be here, but instead he's talking
Yeah.
to us through Facebook. But it's a great question, Alex.
So yeah, when we balance agents, we take into three main things into consideration. First thing is gut feeling, and the second thing would be with data, and the third, of course, is community. You can't balance a game without having all these three things together, and it's vital. We always read on Discord, and we always read on the forums from your suggestions, and we push our game to be successful using feedback, and it's the only way for a game to be good, and that's the direction we go with.
Yeah. Like Ollie mentioned, even on our team, and obviously as Ollie does tweaks to different characters, we all play the game. We face off in different scenarios and do play tests amongst our group, and we give feedback to Ollie, and then sometimes Ollie's like, no, I'm not doing that, but often, he really wants to create the most balanced game that we can, and the most polished game, and the current roster of characters that we do have, our goal is to have them be like hyper balanced, smooth, and like just have that really great gameplay experience.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Shit.
so we're having a little
I
technical
think-
difficulty.
That's the wire.
Yeah.
I
Because you were
screwed
too
that
good
Yeah.
then.
And
There
does
we
the
go.
volume have to be on the
Is the-
device?
There we
There
go.
we go.
My
There we
bad.
go.
Okay.
I'm gonna just
Great.
unplug.
Yeah. There we
Okay.
go.
I'm replugging in the
Fantastic. Well,
All right.
so that worked out perfectly. So Duke for the
Here
win.
you go, Nicole.
All right.
All right, so our next question from Ryan Qureshi. So, apologies if I'm pronouncing anyone's name wrong. I really don't mean to do so. I'm terrible at pronunciations. So, Ryan Qureshi from Facebook asks, will you guys add more characters? Because I need more agents to play with.
So we touched on this a little bit like a moment ago. Our objective and our goal is really to have the characters that we currently have in-game be super fluid, work well together as a team, have very clear counters and synergy. Obviously, long-term, our goals are to add more characters, but we really want to create the right team combinations and elements to like provide an exciting gameplay, because that's what Modern Combat Versus is about. It's that real exciting, quick, fun, visceral match that you want to like have going on. And that's our objective when we made this game. So definitely upcoming characters. In the future, like the game is about the agents and their personalities and their vibe and their like look and how they all work together, their abilities. So our goal is always to keep it like really tight and to have like a great gameplay experience.
Yeah, and absolutely. Like with new agents, like we have some in the works. We've done the concept, we've been tweaking them, but it's a lot about also how they will work considering all the other agents that are currently in game. So we don't want to just release someone and then they completely like break the mechanics of the game or like screw up any other of the other agents' like roles currently in game. So we're doing so much balancing for you guys before these actually get released. And of course, like when we have more info on any characters, agents that are coming up, we'll be sure to tell you guys in our social media channels. We have Discord, Facebook, Twitter, we've got the forums, Instagram, so you know where to find us. Okay, the next one is at Eat Granola from Twitter asks, what's planned for the next few updates? I'm super hyped for them. As we mentioned, for the closest upcoming update, we're gonna be doing that Cult and Juke skin. Those will be released. Much of it includes minor bug fixes as well, so we don't really have too many patch notes in terms of things because a lot of it were those fixes. And but further down the road, Ollie?
Yeah, well, we really want to focus on social aspects of the game. So, we're working on a few features that bring players together, playing with friends, as well as
Nice move.
Go on,
as well
Ollie.
as events. So we're gonna have a few events coming up, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that.
Yeah, we're actually in the update that's coming up real soon. We're actually gonna have an event for you guys that has to do with Cult. So that's something to look forward to. Let me see. Next question. Hey, this is from Domitricus from Twitter. Hey, Modern Combat, just curious, how long does it take to build a character, an agent?
Okay. Well, so yeah, to create an agent, there are many different steps in doing this. From concept and art and the gameplay aspects of it. So first off, we ask like what does our game need? What type of class will the agent be? A defender, an attacker, assassin, specialist, and from there we see what abilities are lacking. Maybe we need an ability that slows people or stuns or instantly kills someone. And from there we grow with the artist. We see what what their inspiration is, and on Nicole's side, which
I
is
can't do two things at once. No, actually,
we
I
just had a
can.
whole conversation
I
about
know.
this today.
I actually
I
can.
thought you were the
I
queen
can,
of
I can.
multitasking.
I can. I am.
Wow,
I am.
and you were
She
getting
claims to
angry
be the
this
queen of
morning,
multitasking.
eh?
I will answer.
Jeez.
So, as Ollie mentioned, we have a super talented team of artists, and they came up with like amazing designs, character concepts, and in different games, you might perhaps first go with the mechanics or the abilities, but we really wanted to like stay true to the artist's vision. Of these super cool characters. So what we did is we catered some of the abilities to the characters that the artist brought. And then what I do is I create the personality of the character. We did the mocap for the characters, for the menus and in-game. And then we recorded the voiceovers and the bios. If some of you read the bios, they're super interesting and kind of give you more insight on the Modern Combat universe. Karen
So
just
sorry.
scared me.
Don't worry, I'm so sorry.
But yeah, and then Ollie really like balanced out the abilities and the weapons that we should give each of them, and I think we like came out with a really really cool set of agents that I'm super proud of. Each of them have a personality, a role, a cool look. Called still my favorite, but and that was the process. And then after that, it was gameplay, balancing and tweaking and figuring out that right ingredient to like create what we have.
And that's it. Like even once the ability's finished, and as you saw in soft launch, sometimes something doesn't work or you want to improve it. So that's what happens with when you create something and it doesn't work in gameplay. You need to refine it and balance it, and it doesn't take. It's not can't do that in a day. It can take forever, and it's something we're constantly doing even now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just one extra point, because I've noticed that when I talk to a lot of you guys in the community, you guys did not know that the agents have their own bios. So, for example, like if you go inside to the character page,
Ollie could,
your agent page.
go back and show where the bios are.
Yeah.
If you go inside and then you click on details, let's say for Locke or
Yeah,
Colt,
he knows where it is. Honestly,
and then you
And
press
top right.
Yeah.
the little eye circle there.
The information button.
And you have a story about Colt's backstory, why
Yeah.
he is where he is today. And yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking for lore. You guys, it's really awesome that you guys are so interested in the agents' stories and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Karen has a question later on, but I'll just like jump into it now regarding the background or how the narrative, the universe came about.
Yeah, so it was actually from Marf Gaming via Twitter. So his question was, how did you guys develop the universe for MC Versus?
So so I was on MC4, and MC4, like we had an amazing time making that game. And, we had the single player and the multiplayer. And when we took on the challenge of doing Modern Combat Versus, we decided to focus on the multiplayer. And it was super important for me to be able to create a storyline and to give depth to the universe and work with the artists in order to create this whole world. As many of you know, there's two factions. There's Corp, which is the corporation that runs the city and is in charge of like different areas, the levels, the maps that you guys are used to. Like they tend to be like the owners of these areas. And then you have a resistance called Octo. And agents are basically freelancers. So they don't choose a side. They don't have an allegiance to one or the other. They're like mercenaries for pay. And what's really cool is with the backstories, I was able to go like, okay, well, which character might have come from Corp originally, or which character may have been part of the Octo resistance. and really looked at each character as, you know, like, where did they come from? What's their background? What's their origin story? And that was like something that Alex really wanted us to like figure out and look at. He loves superheroes, and that's really a big part of like who he is. So we gave an origin story to all of them, and I could tell you that, you know, it's a little hidden right now, but, you know, as the game evolves and continues, like, hopefully we could bring more of that to the forefront and put that in the hands of you guys, so you better understand the lore of the Modern Combat versus universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you,
You're
Nicole.
welcome.
I did see someone, I'm sorry, I missed your name, but you asked why some people are in clans right now in game. So, clans was actually something we brought out momentarily for during the soft launch, and that was basically during our beta days. And actually that got pulled because it needed a lot of work, and we had to prioritize on getting other things out ready for worldwide launch. So that's why you may see some people with like clan names and that they belong to a clan, but they can't actually queue with their clanmates or anything like that now. There's really nothing other than that visual aspect of saying that they're in a clan. So don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. Clans are coming.
Yeah, the idea was that we wanted to really provide you guys with a fully functional +1 sort of clan, you know, usability, and that's what we're working towards. And it's important for us to bring you those social elements so you can play together and you can join up with your friends and, you know, just enjoy the game to its full potential.
Yeah. All right, so Elijah Bulato from Facebook asks, can we expect an escort the payload game mode like MC5 has in the future?
Okay, Ollie's going to answer this question, but he's busy sniping everybody.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
Someone needs to. It's hard because when
It's
you're a
hard,
monarch,
yeah.
you
gotta
need
work on
your
your skills,
team
buddy.
to be on the point.
Yeah.
Give it to Baptiste.
Yeah, Ollie's
Yeah.
favorite character is Monarch, so, you know, he really wanted to show off his mad skills.
My skills.
I played against him once. He was monarch, and it was like the most annoying thing ever. I like couldn't
That's
do
fair.
anything. I had to keep trying to assassinate him, but he knew I was coming.
Yeah.
So,
So
Yeah.
game modes,
Regarding,
yes.
game modes.
Mhm.
So yeah, again, well,
Escort the payload.
yeah.
It's
So
payload.
escort the payload. We from MC5, yeah.
Mhm.
So
I
we
mean,
aren't-
one thing to keep in mind too is we are a very different kind of game, we come from a very different vein, like despite being under the Modern Combat umbrella. So what MC5 has doesn't necessarily mean we'll like bring over to MC Versus. But with that in mind, we
Yeah, no, you pretty much covered it. You know, we want to bring game modes that are more team-based, and you know, payload is a concept that is. So you know, definitely, and we want to make game modes that the community wants. So,
Yeah.
but we are working on a few things now,
Yeah.
and game mode is one of them. But yeah,
So yeah, we're always trying to explore and figure out the best sort of new features to bring you guys. And part of that is like testing out or working on designing, you know, prototyping different types of elements. So they are coming. We're not going to tell you which ones they are, but we're definitely working on that. And like Ollie mentioned, abilities are really important in our game, and we want to create a game mode that will definitely showcase that and keep that at the forefront of Modern Combat Versus.
But
Yeah.
one thing is sure, no matter what no matter the mode, it's going to be balanced.
the internet.
Like that's the most important thing for us is giving you guys a balanced experience and a fun one.
yeah, good point.
Well, I mean, yeah, so like we've tested with a bunch of different game modes, and really it's about just finding out what the best like team game mode really is, because you know, like even though there's been a request for team deathmatch, it's a great game mode for MC5. I mean, it's phenomenal. I have a great time with it. But in MCVS, it's more about how you're gonna, complement each other based on the agents. So implementing a team deathmatch for us was a choice that we would maybe look at later. But for now, I think the new game mode that will be, coming out in the next little while, I won't tell you when, But it's going to be really fun, so you guys are really going to enjoy that, and I'm sure it's going to take a huge competitive spin on this game, so we're really excited to bring that to you guys.
And take advantage of all the areas of the map, which is cool, you know,
Yeah.
like, as we mentioned, like, you know, I play the game and basically Dan, I'm always like, Daniel, this is like so cool, like, I never knew about this, and I find little back alleys or little like tricks to like go up and get back into the zone and like flank and like get there faster or take an entirely different route than my core team. Like, I think there's a lot in the levels that we haven't discovered, so showcasing that with another game mode will be super awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, similarly, in like kind of the same route as that last question, Jiang Li from Facebook asks, why don't we have gun switching like pistols and knives like they do in MC5? So, I mean, one thing, again, like I mentioned, we're under the same franchise, but we're not necessarily taking everything they have and just porting it over to our game. So while we may not have gun switching, we may not have knives, our game, again, like Nicole mentioned, is very much focused on the agents and their special abilities. So that is one way that we're kind of raising the skill level by introducing these special abilities that you really have to keep in mind when you're using them and when you're synergizing with your team. Yeah, okay, so Unity Fanboy from Twitter asks, when will I be able to play with friends?
So we already answered this question more or less like a few times over. Our team is super hard working on bringing you guys the features that will make being playing with your friends, having a clan, all those social elements. We're working hard on bringing them to you, and you know, we look forward to them as well. So it's both of us, the community as well as the dev team, that, you know, we really want to put out something that will be quality and work really well with our game to bring it to that next level.
Let me see. All right, so Tomix Hash from Facebook asks, is it likely that they will put global chat or chat in games to improve the teams? Well, I mean, with clans and that is coming, you guys will have clan chat, so you'll be able to chat with your with other people who are also in your clan. We don't have anything specific to share yet, but when we do, that's something we'll communicate to you guys. We're still looking more into this, making sure it's like working the way we want communication to work. We know that we definitely want to make it so that you guys are effectively able to communicate with one another. So it is one of our priorities too. Yeah, okay, so Lucas Enrique via Facebook asks, the game has poor performance on intermediate devices. Is it possible to add a graphics option to the game in the future?
That's it.
Yeah, I can answer this one. So for the previous update, the update one you guys know playing on, we already have put some optimization for every sort of device. So you may have noticed the quality has been lowered just a bit to give you guys better performances. Since it's an FPS game, it's we think it's very important to have of course good performances to be able to, you know, wrecked people just like I'm doing right now. And from a general point of view, optimization, it's an ongoing process, it's an everyday work, also it's an endless process. So we are working on optimization for every device, including Android One, of course. We're still discussing about having an option to adjust by yourself the quality, because we still need to figure out some technical things, but we still going to do optimization for every kind of device, just like I said. So don't worry, guys, we got you on this one. So
and along the same lines, you know, there's a couple of people asking questions about issues or bug fixes or, you know, the graphical quality. And like Baptiste said, it's an ongoing process, and every day, trust me, we're listening to the programmers, we're talking with the programmers, we're finding solutions, we're optimizing. Our goal is to bring you the best Modern Combat Versus, and with that is really focusing on the stability issues, everything that has to do on the tech side. We have great programmers. They work super hard, and we're really dedicated to like bringing you guys a stable, strong game. And that's what we do every day. That's why we wake up in the morning and we come to work. It's to like really, you know, make this game better than it is and keep improving on it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, on to the next question. What was the hardest part of development? So I guess this question really varies depending on who we are and the roles that we have. So does anyone want to take it up?
Dan could talk about some of the level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing for me was working with Nicole
That's true.
Well,
That's true, because I challenged him.
all the
Yes.
time. But you know what? I think, you know, you can see what the challenge did bring us. It brought us some pretty good maps. So I would say at the beginning, the challenge for us was really to find out how the maps would fit within the universe. And so there was a lot of back and forth between Nicole, myself, and the environment artist to see what was feasible. Of course, there's always technical aspects that, you know, we got to take into consideration. We didn't want maps, you know, to be too big or too small, so that was always a challenge. We did iteration after iteration on each map. I can't even tell you how many times, but it's for sure in the hundreds, if not thousands, or sure feels that way anyways. The challenge was really, I think, was just finding the perfect balance for our main game mode, because at the end of the day, it's a team-based game, and we had to make sure that, you know, the abilities would sync up. For example, in this one area that we're looking at right now, you know, a juke touchdown in here, you know, you would stun basically more or less all the enemies. So, of course, you know, the agent abilities had to be taken into consideration in all the map making. So that was a huge challenge, but very rewarding once we nailed it all down.
Yeah, and as Dan mentioned, you know, I work a little bit with everybody as the narrative game designer. So for me, it was really just seeing ideas come to life, like the graphics on this game and the visual and the vibe of the world that we created, and the same for the agents. They're like my babies. You know, like I wanted all of them to have cool one-liners that were like funny and catchy, or serious, or like Ghost. Ollie, by the way, he does a great Ghost impression. Maybe we could get him to, you know.
Ghost, I thought it was
I was more
Creeper.
Oh no, it was
I was
Creeper.
Creeper.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it was
Dan
the
is
Ghost one,
Ghost.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know, everything that had to do with the characters and the game world, and even like the marketing stuff and the intro video to the game, like it was all a challenge, but I feel like it all came together, and we really created something amazing.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you?
You know, the abilities and balancing was a
Yeah.
huge hurdle at some point. You know, in the soft launch, there's some characters that was OP, somewhere were too weak, so we had to keep constantly balancing. Even now, there's a trend where some agents are really strong and you know, a sought after pick, and it's a challenge, but it's something, you know, we all love to do.
Yeah, Ollie's job involves a lot of feedback from everybody, and you know, he needs to kind of find that perfect balance, and I think so far, you know, we've succeeded in doing that, and like figuring out to create like a really well balanced team formation, regardless which agent you take to the battlefield.
Mm-hmm. Baptiste?
Yeah, so it's a more general comments, but when you're developing a game as amazing as this, you have a ton of crazy ideas and you want to do everything, but we can't do everything. So as my role of like manager and or producer, it's like putting some everything in place to have everything done as quickly as we can and as efficiently as we can also. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough but passionate work to manage every amazing idea we can come up with, and to have everything done and to see everything in motion in the game. It's actually very very breathtaking, very emotional to see everything in place in the game. So from paper to the game, it's an amazing journey we're doing with this game. Yeah.
Lucas?
The hardest part would be managing all the comments you guys have, all the feedbacks you give us that are amazing for us, and offering you like a system that is fun. We all work together to balance the agents, the events, like Dan said, the maps. A lot of iteration. I saw him getting angry a few times because the side of the map didn't work. But creating amazing agents, having ability to balance. I'm more into the system and meta games. So designing events that are fun but also rewarding for you guys is a big challenge, but I think we're going to tackle it, and we are tackling it pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Maybe we could show the skins again. I know some people missed it. So.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the comments going like, ah.
So this is the cult one,
Mm-hmm.
just right over here.
Yeah.
And the second one we have for our MC5 players,
Mm-hmm.
the Juke skin right over here.
I guess we can
Game
kind of
day.
leave
I can just
these
leave it
on
up.
the screen
Yeah,
for
no,
now.
I'll just stop.
Sure.
So just so you guys know, like we do see your questions, and the ones we don't answer, like Karen will do some posts.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's our first time, it's been a while since, whatever previous game we worked on at Gameloft that we've done this like sort of Q&A. So we're going to like perfect it for the next time. Right?
Yeah, I mean, one thing is we're always looking, like, if you guys like this, let us know. And we definitely hope to do more live streams in this kind of fashion with you guys. I mean, it's pretty casual, like, we're just basically chatting to you. If you guys like it, let us know.
Join the Discord.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, yeah, like,
We're on Discord.
For those of you who don't know, we are on the forums. There's official Modern Combat Versus forums. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, and also we have a new Discord. So the official Modern Combat Versus Discord, I believe there's a link to it in our general section of the forums, and anyone can join. It's basically a place where a lot of the devs are actually in the Discord. They may not be able to respond to everything you guys ask or what you guys are saying, but they are there and they're always looking for your feedback. And also it's a great place for you guys to just talk amongst one another, discuss strategies, discuss new updates, whatever have you.
So just quickly about the story mode, I know it's coming up in the feed and everything. And, we have time to, work towards a lot of different cool features that are going to be upcoming through our development process. We're taking your feedback and we're going to figure it out. I know you guys maybe want a bit more lore and a bit more interesting facts or even a playable sort of story mode. We're looking into basically creating the best experience for Modern Combat Versus and the universe. So it might not be what you guys are used to before, but we're looking into things and we want to bring you guys, the best gameplay experience and just experience in general. So
Yeah, so I mean, the game is now out for free if you haven't already downloaded it. It's on iOS, Android, and on Windows 10. So thank you so much for joining us for this Dev live stream. We hope that we'll be having many more, and we'll see you then.
nice. High five.
See you
High
guys.
five.
I'm not doing this. I said
High five. There you go.
Oh, don't
All right.
be hanging.